How's it going, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about general liability insurance and how the rates for this coverage are determined for your business. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Brian. I'm an independent insurance agent based here in the state of Michigan, Metro Detroit specifically, and I work with businesses on their commercial insurance programs as well as helping families and individuals with their personal insurance, their home, their auto insurance as well. My goal with this channel is to pass on a little bit of educational information to you so that you can make more informed decisions around your insurance and then overall help answer any questions that you might have. So let's get into it. And before we get too far into the video, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, and if you find this video helpful, useful, anything like that, please feel free to pass it along to anyone else as well. General liability is one of the most common types of insurance coverages out there that nearly every business will have. And what exactly does it cover? General liability insurance will typically provide coverage for things like bodily injury, property damage, personal and advertising injury, and then products and completed operations coverage. At its core, think of general liability insurance covering things like slip and fall accidents, or if your business's products or services injure somebody or cause damage to somebody else's property. The specifics of coverage are going to vary from one insurance company to another and one insurance policy to another, but for the most part, these are the coverages that you are going to find in a standard policy. Now, when it comes to the pricing, the first factor in play is going to be the type of business that you run. Insurance companies use class codes to categorize every type of business, and depending on what your business actually does, you might even have two class codes associated with your operation. For example, if you have a flooring business that has a retail storefront that sells flooring materials, but then also offers installation services, you will have two class codes, one for the retail operations side of things, and then one for the installation. Meanwhile, a business like a manufacturing company that manufactures metal products for maybe only a few customers, they are most likely only going to have one class code associated with their business. Again, this will vary from one company to another and how the actual insurance company itself will classify your business operations. And then each insurance company sets rates for each class code. And some insurance companies are obviously going to have more of an appetite for certain businesses over others. So this means that one insurance company could offer significantly better pricing than another. So working with the right insurance carrier can make a big difference when it comes to your cost. And then your premium is determined by multiplying this rate by one of your key business metrics. And what that metric is will depend on your industry. If you run a retail store, a manufacturing business, or a more brick and mortar operation, for the most part, your premium is going to be based off your sales or your annual revenue. And now if you are in construction or contracting, your rate is going to be based on your payroll and also the cost of any subcontracted work. So if you are a general contractor that has a lot of subcontractors that you work with, this will also be factored into your general liability costs. And then if you own and operate commercial real estate, your rate is going to be based on the gross square footage, the area of your property. And then also your tenant mix can play a role in determining your rates as well. But in most cases, for most businesses out there, it is going to either come down to your payroll or your annual sales or revenue. Beyond that, the industry your business is in is obviously going to play a role as well. Certain industries just inherently carry more risk than others. For example, a roofing contractor is going to pay more than, say, any sort of office-based business, simply because there is a higher likelihood of property damage or somebody getting injured with their line of work versus the other. So this is why two businesses that might have either similar payroll or similar revenue can see vastly different premiums when it comes to their general liability insurance. Now, when it comes to the actual coverage limits on a general liability policy, for the most part, the starting point is going to be $1 million per occurrence and a $2 million aggregate limit. This means that you would have $1 million in coverage for a single claim and then $2 million in total coverage for the entire policy term, which is typically a year. It is very common for the limits that your business is required to have to be contract driven. If any of the business partners you work with, so vendors, clients, landlords, etc., a lot of times they might have certain liability insurance requirements and will require that you carry a certain minimum level of coverage. So if you do need more than the $1 million occurrence and $2 million aggregate, most policies will allow you to also select $2 million per occurrence and $4 million aggregate. And businesses that are looking at more liability coverage, or maybe they need increased limits across multiple policies, then a commercial umbrella will probably make the most sense. This can provide additional liability coverage for policies like general liability, workers' compensation, commercial auto at a lower cost than just increasing the limits on the general liability policy or commercial auto, workers' comp, whatever it may be itself. And then the last point I do want to mention is that just like with any other type of insurance policy, your claims history also matters. So if your business has had claims in the past, this can increase your premium as well. The more claims you've had, and especially the more claims you've had in recent years, the more of a risk that you look like to the insurance companies, which can lead to higher rates or in some circumstances even difficulty getting coverage. So overall, as you can see, there are quite a few factors at play in determining the premium for your general liability insurance. And if you are looking to make sure that you are getting the right coverage at a fair price in today's current market, while also working with an agent who understands your industry, I would love the opportunity to work with you and see if our team can help. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and they should all be in the description below. Please feel free to text, call, email, fill out a contact form, whatever is easiest. And if you have any other questions about insurance, please feel free to reach out directly or leave them in the comments below. I would love to help answer those as well. So thank you again.